I don't know if anybody really understands how great this election is going to be and how you are never going to ever live this one down. I don't think anybody really understands this because nobody's talking about it. Nobody's interested in it. Nobody's talking about this. They're talking about things that don't matter. I want you to step back for a moment and really ask yourself, do you really understand what's happening? Do you really understand? This is the most exciting election that you will invariably feel in your lifetime. I promise you. I am not saying that. What is happening right now, the potential for change, for alteration, for absolute mind-boggling, perpetual change. You'll be talking about this. What could go on right now is so great, and nobody's talking about it. We're talking about things like shutdown and extension bills and this nonsense, this trite nonsense. What is happening right now? This convergence, what Donald Trump, what they are doing to him, what he is doing in return, the Bobby Kennedy aspect of this, the fact that this could still be thrown into the House of Representatives. If there's no 270, if somehow that vote is somehow impaired, I love this. I love this. There is nothing. Do you see the potential? It's like you're looking at standing on a horizon, on a mountain, and you're seeing this force, and you think, oh my God, there's going to be a battle here. Do you see what's happening? Do you see who's showing up to this battle? No, I don't, because there's no fighting it. No, but do you see what's going to happen? No. I had a conversation today with some wonderful young people, and just in the course of this, and I'm saying, and I said, do you have any idea of what could happen if there is not 270 votes reached in the Electoral College? And so help me God, I looked, and they looked at me and they say, what? The what? And I thought, oh my God, dear Heavenly God, they don't understand the Electoral College. Where do I even start? And they were interested, and I don't want to sound pedantic. I don't want to sound like I'm making them seem stupid or foolish. I don't want to do that, but I have to explain. Well, if they don't get 270, if the states are successful against Trump regarding Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, and they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? Well, he can also return the favor by claiming that Biden gave aid and comfort to the enemy. And if you were to take both names off of just one or two or some critical battleground states, this could lower the electoral vote to below 270. And then it goes to the House, and each state delegation has one vote. So the first delegations that get 26 votes, that's it. Trump could be elected without winning a primary, a caucus, electoral college, nothing. It could all happen. So help me God, they look at me like, where are you from? And I said, I'm not trying to be rude here, but do you know how this thing works? No. And they thought it was a winner take all kind of thing where, we just go to the election and you vote and that's it. And I thought, oh my God. And I ventured to say, and I said, listen, don't feel bad. You are at least, because they said, we don't know. I said, at least you're able to do this. Do you know the number of people who couldn't explain, much less understand, but who couldn't explain the process? They're talking about it all the time, but they don't understand the process. They don't understand how this works. They don't understand the rudiments. What does this mean? they're quick to just give some kind of an explanation. I heard this one today. People were suggesting that when Gavin Newsom has to replace someone or replace Feinstein, who passed away, he could somehow appoint Kamala Harris after she steps down. Now follow this. Steps down, resigns from the White House, from the vice presidency, takes the position, whereupon Newsom appoints her, then resigns from the lieutenant governor, I guess, for California. He resigns as governor, and Biden appoints him to be vice president, and then Biden steps down, and this was. I said, do you have any idea? This doesn't make any sense. Well, you know how crazy. Yes, I understand that. Yes, I recognize it. But that doesn't make any sense. It's almost like people are thinking of things that could theoretically happen. Give me an example. Years ago, during the O.J. Simpson case, people were saying, well, who do you think? Well, it could be Al Cowlings. Al Cowlings, his friend? Nicole Brown, what? Well, it could be Sydney, the daughter. She killed her mother. Well, what about the son? The son? They just named. How about Dr. Lee, Henry Lee? He could have done what? What do you? So I'm realizing, dear God, nobody. I can understand it from kids, but what are we talking about? What are we talking about? How many times have I been saying, please let Bobby Kennedy go third party? Please, 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 please. And yet they're saying, oh no, this is going to help Trump. Well, it is going to help Trump, but no, but that Trump voters are going to vote for Bobby Kennedy. It's like, wait a minute. Hold it. I want to stop right there. Hold it. Please don't miss this. Please don't miss this. Please sit back, and when it hits you, please let me know. Please let me know when you say, oh yeah. And when it hits you, you won't be able to sleep at night. When you get it, when you see, it's like looking at a chessboard and saying, oh my God, you're 3 moves away from winning. You're going to win this. You're 3 moves. It's not happening now, but I'm seeing this. Let me stop right there, my friends. In the event you are new, I beg, implore, beseech, entreat, ask, request that you first of all subscribe to this channel. We live and die by subscriptions. I don't know how they work. Sometimes I swear to God, if I didn't know better, they get to a number and they go, whoop. It's like, are you? No, I can't be. They can't be. No. We need your subscription. We need you to like the video and to hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and the like. Okay, fine. Next, right now, before midnight, dear God, this is the end of the month. Hurry, H-I-E, hi, hurry, hey, make haste. And take advantage of this deal. You can save 25% off of a 3-month emergency food kit by going to preparewithlionel.com. The premier food storage company in the world. By the way, I was reading a number of stories regarding all of the farmland and acreage that China is buying. Bill Gates. Why do they want to control all our food? Why do you think that's the way? What do you think is going on? You're going to go into forced hormesis. Do you see what's happening regarding food? Do I have to spell this? Of course not. You're smart. You can read the writing on the wall. Preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com. Go to preparewithlionel.com. Listen to me. The big 3. Remember this. Food, water, energy. Energy. Good God. Water. Hydro-imperialism, that is going to be the casus belli. That is going to be why we go to war. Do you have enough water? What happens if everything just turns off? Are you able to purify water? Go to preparewithlionel.com. And food itself. What are you going to do after a week? You can't eat for a week. There's no food. There's no stores. And you get some chips. Maybe. Oh, you'll find something that's been picked over. Those shelves will be gone so fast, like that. If anything goes wrong. Yesterday we had some flooding at LaGuardia Airport. You thought it was the end of the world. The Diluvian period. Go to preparewithlionel.com. This is it. This is the last day of the month. Don't wait now. Preparewithlionel.com. My dear friends, let me explain something to you. I'm a rational person. I think you know who I am. I think you know who I am. I think you know. I think you know. Look at this. Fred says OJ did have an 18-year-old boy that was his size. Nice try, Fred. Nice try. But thank you, my friend. And hand farts for you. Right now, there is somebody who theoretically is going to be looking at the possibility of voting. And they're going to say, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat, and I've been a Democrat my whole life, and I voted for Biden, but I'm not so sure right now. I don't like what's happening. I don't think the country is in the right direction. I think all this stuff. And I really don't know what to do. There's Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy. He calls himself a libertarian. Well, he's doing that because, okay. Bobby Kennedy. I like what he said about the Second Amendment. I like what he said about whatever. I don't think, and I'm going to say something to you right now. Obviously, by virtue of the fact that I'm saying something to you right now, I don't think anybody cares about his positions on vaccines one way or the other. I think we are done with that. I think we are done. I think America is done with that. I don't think anybody cares. And I think right now the plethora, the deluge, the veritable cascade of negative news regarding all kinds of problems that are now being found and now being attributed and now being identified. I don't think anybody cares about this in the least. Do you agree? I don't think anybody cares about this. Well, it's an anti-vax conspiracy. I don't think anybody cares about this. And a lot of people are saying, anti-vax, maybe that has different connotation as to what we saw before. A lot of people right now. A lot of people are saying, I don't know if we got the right news on that one. So I don't think that's going to be a big deal. If you take that anti-vax conspiracy theory label away from Bobby Kennedy, what's the negative connotation? What is it? He's perfect for the Democrats. Perfect. He said some stuff about the Second Amendment. He's been a lifelong Democrat. He said he wouldn't be on the Trump campaign. He said he doesn't like Trump, didn't vote for Trump. He's not a Trump adherent. He's for peace. He's against these stupid wars. He's against women and athletes, and everybody's for that. Everybody, don't kid yourself. Especially these lefty moms who drive around in Range Rovers trying to get little Megan a lacrosse scholarship to Brown, and all of a sudden this guy named Buck comes along, and all of a sudden now he's Buckina. No. A lot of people don't care for that. They don't care for that in the least. Do you hear what I'm saying? They don't care for that in the least. So who do you think they're going to vote for? Democrats are going to go for Bobby Kennedy. They're not going to go for Trump, and they're not going to go for Gavin Newsom. And Gavin Newsom is, I'm sorry, you have Gavin Newsom. No. Gavin Newsom is a better version of Biden. Gavin Newsom is a slicker version of Biden. Gavin Newsom is a version of Biden that's at least theoretically lucid. He's theoretically lucid. And that's all I'm saying. He's theoretically lucid. But the programs themselves are programs that America doesn't particularly care for. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is the most exciting thing. This is what we've been saying. Bobby's going to go third party. He's going to go Libertarian, Green Party, Brown Party, Pink Party, whatever the hell the parties are. He's going to do this. And the Democrats are going to go with him and not Gavin Newsom. This is the greatest thing ever. Democratic votes go down. Trump's margin. And Trump is the nominee. There's nobody else who could be the nominee. Nobody. The Republicans don't know what to do. This Ronna McDaniel doesn't know what to do. She says, how the hell am I going to, this guy's under 4 indictments, 91 charges. What the hell's going on here? He's the nominee? Yep, he's a nominee. Do you grasp this? Blink once if you grasp this. Blink. Let me know. Wave, wave, wave. Let me know you see this. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. This is the biggest story in the world. Not Hunter Biden, not whatever it is. And Fox News isn't going to tell you that because Fox News hates Trump. Hates him. So they're not going to say anything about it. They're going to talk about, Nikki Haley and all this. Do you know all the stories of extramarital affairs? I'm not even going to go through it. There's a slew. Now, let me tell you what I would bet on. If I work for the deep state, if I work for the shadow government, if I work for these people, I would know a little bit about intel. And I know a little bit about how people work and how people think. And I would have had Bobby Kennedy figured out a long time ago. And here's what I would have done. I would have said to Bobby, because that's his name, I'd say, Bobby and the Kennedys have always had a weird relationship with women. Bobby Kennedy one time used to keep track of all the women he bedded, all the women he sired, all the women he made, all the women he knew in the biblical sense. It means something to him. It's this notch on you're a Kennedy man. It's your notch on the bed. You've been hearing about this. Notorious philandering. His father. Shtupp and Jackie. Everybody was. Oh my God, these people were like 3 peckered goats, the whole group. Remember Jack Kennedy's buddy, his boyfriend? And Joe Kennedy said, I don't care what he does, as long as he doesn't get a girl pregnant. I don't care what he does. These people had no morals, none. These people are degenerates. These are degenerates. The Kennedy family, dear God almighty. They're Catholic. Joe Kennedy used to bring the grandfather, Joseph P., used to bring Gloria Swanson at the dinner table. He was stuffing her in front of a rose. Oh, this is your mentality. This is what you think. This is what you've been thinking your whole life. Women. I'm Bobby Kennedy. Plus, you're the guy. You're the scion, the dauphin. You're the eldest. I think Kathleen's technically the eldest, but you're the sole heir, male heir or mayor. Truncation, a portmanteau of the two. And you've got that little Schlossberg, a pain in the ass, saying, I know him. You knew him? You know him? He's your cousin. So this is the thing with Bobby Kennedy. He's got this is his swan song. He's 69 years old. He's it. And what has he got to show for himself? A couple of lawsuits. He's a falconer. He's done some river stuff. Come on. What has he done? Nothing. He's done some stuff, but it's rather arcane, rather recondite. He's done some things. This is it. This is it. And I love to get there and him in a room and maybe a good friend, have him get a snoot full, whatever his passion is, and say, let me tell you something. Let me remind you. Remember when you were 14 years old and they took your father away from you? You know who they are? Those people. The same people who are telling you that you don't have the right. The same people that are upset with you because you didn't ask them for permission. You didn't ask for permission. You understand that? Those bastards who killed your father and your uncle, these are the same folks, not Joe Biden personally, but the people who run the show. You want to get them back? You run against them. Be your own man. Show them what real Kennedy guts is all about. And by the way, Bobby, I would tell them they're going to be setting you up with a honeypot. Guarantee you. I would have everybody in the security. Can you believe they haven't given him Secret Service treatment yet? Dear God. I would have somebody. I would say, listen, I want you to keep an eye. When Mrs. L and I were there at the Glass House tonight, he was there with Shmuley down the street. We could not believe there was one woman in particular. This woman looked like a hooker. I mean, a basic hooker. Like one of these, you know how sometimes they used to be called MILFs, but there's these women who are kind of like a little too old to be walking around like that. They think they're sexy. They were sexy then, but they look kind of almost like rode hard and put up wet. Kind of sad. Sad. You know what I mean? They kind of, well, that's what we saw. Now, I don't know if Bobby would do that, but I promise you, the right woman comes along who makes him says, "Oh, Bobby, you've inspired me." And Bobby says, finally somebody sees it the way I am. Somebody reflecting and telling me the way I actually see myself. Finally, somebody shows respect. Finally, and a woman too. I am okay. Yeah. You know what? I'm a Kennedy. Here we go. That's what we do. They're kind of expecting it. And then it's just like when people all of a sudden will blame somebody for being anti-Semitic. There's one thing about the left. They don't give a damn about anti-Semitic. Half of them are anti-Semites in their own right. But if you say something, "Oh, you're anti-Semitic," they don't care about that. They just want to crush you. Do you see what's happening right now? Are you paying attention? Blink once for yes. Just blink once. Just wave. Wave at the monkey. He'll wave at you. Okay? This is the most incredible thing in the world that I'm seeing right now. This is bigger than anything. And what are we talking about? Hunter Biden. Now, Donald Trump, I want you to put Donald Trump into perspective. First of all, quit kissing his arse and acting like he's some god. He's not a god. He's not Pegasus. He's not, the golden steed. Stop it. Stop it. He's done some of the most boneheaded things ever. But he's got something. Let me explain something to you. Victor Davis Hanson might be one of our best. His analysis is still that flat affect. He gets things wrong. He says nuclear. He still thinks that Trump has a Queen's accent, which I cannot believe. I don't know where he's getting that from. But anyway. But he mentioned one time the fact of what a general is. He says, and they were wonderful generals. Matthew Ridgway, U.S. Grant. I'm throwing that one in. Patton, Curtis LeMay. And Patton and Curtis LeMay may have been problems in the rest of the world. They may have been problems in the rest of the world. They may not have fit in. They may have been problematic. But when it came to being a general, they did something that nobody else did. Patton decided he was the first one to ever go after. He wasn't just defensive. He didn't just set up a cordon or some wall of defense. He went after the Germans. He was brutal. They never saw anything like it. Faster. Nobody ever did this ever. No, he reinvented armor division. Just Third Army. Just unbelievable. But he was a nut. But he was great in war. And they say that U.S. Grant and Winston Churchill and George Washington had something in common. That when the bullets went by and they could hear it. Like somebody said one time, it was like a steel mosquito. Goes right by this. They didn't drop to the ground in fear. They didn't drop to the ground in panic. They loved it. And in fact, to have somebody shooting at you enlivens you, and according to Winston Churchill, he says, and to survive it. Mr. Real, you busted my Bobby bubble, but still love you. I don't know what that means. I'm just telling you the truth. And we love you, Edie. We really do. Bobby Kennedy is I'd have that psychological profile. You know that in every intel agency has these psychological profiles to say, who are these people? What are they about? Mossad especially. In fact, there was this book, what was it? Tip of the Spear, Gideon Spear, or whatever. Netanyahu's wife wanted desperately to read the reviews of Hillary Clinton and others, and you have to know what this is about. You have to know this. Let me ask you, what is Trump's profile? What is Trump's profile? I would go after him. I would get as many people as possible. He's local here. I would have people who've dealt business with him. I would have had a dossier on him so much. Oh, look at Edie. Edie says it was a joke. And it was a damn good joke too, Edie. Edie girl. It's a damn good joke. Where's my... Wait a minute. Where's my paint? Where's my portrait? Hang on. I'll find it. I got it here somewhere. Got to get it framed. I'll cherish that. Anyway, thank you, dear heart. Trump. What is Trump like? Garish. Trump. Name. Garish. Gold. Trump Tower. Trump planes. This is my wife, my trophy wife. This is my trophy. I have a trophy. Mar-a-Lago and Trump. Bedford Trump. Okay. And he deserved it. And I'm not saying mockingly. I'm saying this is what I would figure out. So when you play him, you play to that. You play to that. You let him have it. Mike Rockburns, just kidding. People like Trump, Obama, Bill Clinton, and Patton have something in common. They all have something of a messiah complex. Otherwise, they would never think of themselves able to be the national savior. You know what? Mike, I agree. And by the way, I thank you very much. You're very, very kind. I agree and not disagree, but let me see if we can fine-tune this, shall we? Let's see if we can fine-tune this. It works something like this. A messiah complex is different than somebody being, I am the leader, the second coming. I am Christ Almighty. I'm the second coming. I'm okay. That is, I don't think, I'm sure it happens to some people. I don't know if that's necessarily part and parcel. There's the here. There we go. There's the leadership part. I don't know what the hell that is. Narcissist, no. Narcissism is a different story. No. I mean, could be. Not necessarily. There's nothing necessarily wrong with somebody wanting to be the leader. It's you need leaders. Leaders are to be heralded. It's funny because we're very, very suspect of that. First, a couple of things. Some incorrect words. Napoleonic complex has something to do with his height. Napoleon was like 5'7", and at the time there was nothing extraordinarily short about Napoleon. That wasn't it. It was a different kind of a concept. He might have been more, not messianic, but almost, think of almost like the notion of the apotheosis, beatification, canonization, the elevation, you're canonized, you're elevated, apotheosis. This you are not only the Savior, but you are God. You are great. You are Caesar. Not that you're leading anybody or you're the second coming, but that you're invincible. My dear friends, if you don't have any of that in you, you can't do that. You can't do the job. You cannot do the job. You can't. Obama was created. Obama never had any aspirations for this. Never wanted to do this. Never. They picked him. That's why we don't know anything about him. John Kennedy never wanted to be this. Never wanted to go into politics. He wanted to be a journalist. Just like John, his son. John wanted to be an actor. But they said no. Jackie said no. John Kennedy wanted, when he was going out with Daryl Hannah. Remember Madonna? She said no. Jackie said no. Understand that that is that's the fascinating connection. But going back, Trump is not I don't think, put it this way. Some people want to be maybe like Gandhi. I want to lead my people. I would venture to say that people like Ben Gurion, people during the nascent period development of Israel, absolutely going back to Herzl, you can call him Zionist, whatever you want. This was the creation of a state, the Jewish state. This was not just about, and I'm the leader. This was like, no, I want to be the father of the country. I want to create. That's a different story. You only get to be the father of the country one time. That's a different story. And by the way, it's interesting just to see how women themselves, will they have maternal complexes? Will you see that? And by the way, none of these behaviors are pathological, problematic in the least. These are these are leadership. When somebody wants to be a general, to lead men in battle, as opposed to, I want to be the general, it's a different story. It's everybody's got their thing. Never become cliched in your use of the cliche. Don't necessarily think that there's always that there's something necessarily wrong with this because of whatever. You need leaders. You need these people. You need to be able to run the country. Ask yourself, what would your thing be? What would your image be? What would it be? Think about that. We have these. It's a different world today. It's a different world. When Nixon, I think the greatest in my lifetime, the greatest, the purest, the purest acting president, so to speak, pun intended, was Reagan. They used to say that Bill Clinton was a natural. Trump does something, I don't know what it is. Let me give you an example. We've been to so many Broadway shows. It never, this one thing I've seen never ceases to amaze me. A lot of times you have extras in Broadway. And there are people that walk around and they're talking to each other. And there'll be one person that just sticks out, male or female, not because of looks, not because of anything, but just because of this presence, this aura, something. I don't know what it is. Can't explain it. They have something. And you can't keep your eye off of them. They're not doing anything, but they compel you. It's like a Kubrick film. You may not like any of them, but if you watch any second of any Kubrick film, he makes you want to watch it. I don't know what it is. The lighting, the color of this, I don't know. Trump came out and did something. If I could play for you a Trump rally without the laughing, without the applause, just him, you would think, sounds kind of lame. It does. There's something eloquent about him. There's something, when he reads, it's horrible. You know, the way he breathes, and he's weird when he reads a prompter. If I just play this for you without the reaction, you'd say, well, I think it's all right. Now, let me play the crowd reaction, and you won't believe what you're hearing. You can't believe what happens to him. And it's not because they're Republicans. There are other Republicans too. Nikki Haley doesn't do that. Ron DeSantis doesn't get it. Chris Christie, nobody else. Nobody. Tim Scott, Tim Scott's a fun. Tim Scott, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Anyway, Trump's got something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Did you ever see Eric Bird and the Animals when you were a kid? When the first time you saw the Animals, you go, oh my God. Remember that? There is a house. He's this Geordie accent in New Orleans. They're cold. I'm like, ooh. Remember Chaz? Not Chaz Chandler, the bass player? But there was something about him. It was dangerous. Then Jerry and the Pacemaker. The Stones. The Stones. Something about them. Beatles. Different. Beatles like, oh. Stones. Ooh. Different. There's something about these people. There's something about these, whatever. That's Trump. He does this stuff. I'm telling you. And I'm not saying this because, oh, you love him so much. No, I'm telling you, he does some stupid things. But he's got something I've never seen ever anybody before. And if he does a debate, if he ever did a debate with Gavin Newsom, I would tell him very simply this. This is your attitude. He is a punk kid. You're the wise adult. You're the wise veteran. And you're talking down to him politely but dismissively. That's the way you do it. Remember when Reagan said, there you go again. Well. It's easy to make that decision. It's easy to make that mistake. But for president, you can't make mistakes like that. That's not the way it is. I can understand why you would think that, but that's not true. You know what that is? That's a common mistake people make. Make it sound simple, don't you? You ever done this before? You were the governor of California. I don't know if I'd be real proud about that, but bless your heart. See, Trump would go out and zing him. Remember, when Trump is doing a debate with him, he can't speak the same way he speaks at a rally. Can't do it. Doesn't work that way. And can you imagine somehow, I don't know what, they're having Gavin Newsom and DeSantis debating on Fox? Why is that? Because Fox is pushing DeSantis. They want DeSantis. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest thing ever. I want you to think for a minute. I want you to stop. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to get all this stuff out of your head. And I want you to think about something. I want you to imagine it's election night. And it's been a long day. And you hear the following words. We're calling it ABC, CNN, Fox News. They're all calling it. The winner, listen to me carefully, of the 2024 presidential election is Donald Trump. Stop. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you feel right now. You're sitting back and you think, what did I hear? Donald Trump. He did it. Second president next to Grover Cleveland. 2 non-consecutive terms. 2. Van Buren tried to do it. Millard Fillmore tried to do it. Teddy Roosevelt tried to do it. After they were in, he did it. Now, remember Jessica Starr, I think her name was, she's a woman who yelled that, no. Remember that? Remember her? They never got to her. They never gave her a commercial, nothing. No. Okay. You're going to hear howls from people all over. And I want to talk about the howls, Mrs. Howell. You're going to be hearing howls from people all over the country. You're going to hear and see things nobody can imagine. Joy Behar is going to melt like the Wicked Witch. They won't know what to do. Rob Reiner won't know what to do. They just will not. They'll go crazy. Rachel Maddow will go to that. We're dreaming. And you're going to turn to somebody and you're going to say, did I just hear this? Yes. And at one particular point, Bobby Kennedy will walk out, shake Trump's hand and say, gotcha. Mission accomplished. This is for you, Dad. That'll get him back. And they're going to say, done. And imagine what that's going to be. Just imagine. You will say, I cannot believe this is like every event. This is watching the Woodstock, the Hindenburg, the landing on the moon. This will be bigger than anything you could ever imagine. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you see this? Can you see it? All this is possible. Now, my favorite is I would love for him to somehow win in the House. I don't know why. I just think it'd be fun because nobody understands it. But aside from that, and then you say to yourself, wait a minute. They could have stopped this and they didn't. Did they want him? They could have stopped this if they wanted, but they didn't. Why? Why didn't they stop this? Oh, and then you think about all that. I mean, you're going to go crazy trying to figure out all of this. Yeah, but they could have stopped, but they didn't. Yeah, but they did. But they should have. I don't know what I didn't. It will. I swear to you. I think I will say, I just saw something and nobody's ever seen before. It's just history. But not just any president, not just, Obama. No, Trump. And think about this, after all they threw at him, they're going to go back and they say, this guy's not human. He's indestructible. He's a machine. We can't kill him. There's nothing we can do. Think about this. If you don't see, and everything that I just told you is completely possible. Everything I told you is possible. It's not just made up like, wow, they're right. No. And then you're going to second guess it. They must have let them. They could have done anything. I don't know. All I know is keep an eye on this. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't waste your time with this business about, well, this. They worry about the minutia. The big picture is something that is beyond anything anybody can even imagine. Okay? Just remember that. Remember that bigly. Now, I want to also say something. I heard, that's right, I'm going to say it again. My Patriot Supply. Preparewithlionel.com. Remember, do it now. End of the month, 25%. Do it now. One more thing. This man. My Pillow. This man. Same thing. Great product. American made. Proud American. Factories putting people to work. Great product. And he decides, I'm going to express myself. Oh, no, you're not. Shadow banned, canceled, banned, just mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. The products are wonderful. They're exquisite. They are without peer. But aside from that, this is for you to make a statement. mypillow.com. My friends, I'm very proud to say that I am an American. I love my country, despise my government, despise I don't know if there's anybody I even like. I don't know if I like anybody. I think a lot of times I just, my idea of liking somebody is that I detest them less than other people. Like I told you, if I ran the government, Washington would be a ghost town. You wouldn't even. But what would happen that night would be a kick in the pants. It'd be like a yeah, we did it. And I swear to you, I would start saying, lock the doors, batten down the hatches, Make sure you keep your powder dry and your emergency food prepared with Lionel ready to go, because they are going to lose their mind. And the first thing the president does is he walks out and he's surrounded by ninjas. Ninjas. You know, the black ninjas. And you were at home and you go, are those ninjas? Those look like ninjas. Is this a joke? Why does he have ninjas? And the president comes on and says, yes, these are ninjas. They're the only people, this is my Praetorian Guard. This is the only people I trust. And by the way, the first group of people that are being selected, I'm firing all of them. Nope. It's the second group. That's the one I trust. Because the first one that they suggest, they're no good. They're spies. All of them. Every single one of them. Every single one of them is a spy, is a rat bastard. Every single one of them. They're out to, and I understand that. And I want to have him one day. I want there to be this. I want him to be sitting at that desk. He's going to be doing a lot of press coverage, and you're going to be seeing those stacks and stacks and stacks of. They're going to have to buy more of these executive orders. He's not going to tell you what they are, but he says, "I've got a lot of signing to do." You'll see. You'll see. Go to our official website, and we'll show you all of the. Tomorrow, the Department of Commerce is no more. What? That's right. And there's a new attorney general. I would pick somebody who was crazed. How many times? No more of these. Remember Durham and Bill Barr? Oh, no. I would get these crazed, demented bulldogs, these people who have just been doing this their whole life, who are just, they just love this stuff. And and you can guarantee that half the Department of Justice is going to be filled with these holdovers, but you can do the best we can. And then watch what happens. And one of my favorite things to do, wouldn't it be great if all of a sudden they said, and we are now leaving NATO? What? Tell me what does NATO do for us? I know what we do for NATO, but what does NATO do? What do we need NATO for? Does it protect us from what? Over here? Who's going to come to, if what do we need NATO for? Seriously. I'm not trying to be cute. I'm not trying to be cute about this. Barry McCockiner says, Uber woke art teacher's sister refuses to visit our family because we don't mask regularly. Oh, yes. Thank you, by the way, Barry. You know what you should do? You should mask, but not on your face. Cut out holes and put them on your head. I'm sorry to say this, but your sister is demented, and they wear the masks like certain people wore certain arm bands. It's a sign of subjugation. It's a sign of obedience. I'm sorry to say this, but I despise when I see people with masks. I go crazy. I lose my mind. Now, no. I'm sorry to say this. She's your sister, but she's out of her mind. She's demented. And you know what? Crazy people, mental illness is, you love them. And if ever she comes to her senses, you'll always be there. But if that's fine. No masks. They take your mask off. You should have a little thing at the door. Like, you know, when they put, they have like cell phones. You take your cell phone off. Take your mask off. Take that damn thing off. Take that off. I can't hear you. I can't understand you. Take that off. This is ridiculous. It's over. How many times does even Fauci have to say? How many times? We don't need no NATO. We don't need no NATO. Thank you, Sparky. It's true. What does NATO do for us? What is the purpose of this? What is Belarus going to attack? I don't think so. What is NATO about? The Soviet Union's gone. It's dead. NATO is nothing but Kennan said this. Mearsheimer says this. It goads, it provokes. They want war with Russia. That's it. Or at least they think they do. And by the way, I get news for you. They're not even involved in this yet. You think Russia's committed themselves to, are you kidding me? Not even close. Not even close. You know, there's a lot of great stuff out there. My good friend Judge Napolitano, Mearsheimer, Douglas McGregor, Ritter, the Duran, great, wonderful programs. And you just think, oh my God, you don't realize, dear Heavenly Father, God Almighty, where do they? How do they do this? How can the lies be? I mean, this is incredible. People still don't know who Victoria Nuland is. They still don't understand anything about this. Haven't we learned anything about war? Haven't we learned anything? What do we want to do? Why are we goading people? Why are you provoking them? You want them because you want war, either because you're a neocon, you're a war profiteer, you're part of the MIC, KEY, you're a ghoul, you're some harridan, you're a Valkyrie, you're Cerberus from Hades. I mean, it's dear God Almighty, it's horrid. What's the point of this war? I don't want to break into Edwin Starr, but what is it good for? What are we doing? No. You want to fight? You go fight. Go ahead. Be a merc. Sign up, go to the Foreign Legion, and knock yourself out. Go ahead. Do it. You know all those shows on TV? You know all these shows, these war, and God bless them. But you know these, they got the tattoos and, you know, the beard. They got the, you know, the Fred Ziffel beard and the this and the hat, you know. Look at this. Garland Nixon, too. Interesting. Garland Nixon. Oh, I like that. I like that imagery. Thank you so much. You know these people, Sparky. They do these shows. Well, it's Delta Force. Let me tell you something about these people. Don't ever kid yourself. You don't go to war and come back without being up big time. You don't. There's no way. No way. You can act tough, but I think a lot of times it's a move and a defense to have that warrior ethos. There are people walking around 80, 90 years old, still talking about the war like it was yesterday, and they're still waking up with nightmares and whatever. You want to do that? You go ahead. You knock yourself out. I have no illusions about that. You're killing people. It's ungodly. It's not Christian. And I'm so tired of these fundamentalist phonies who they talk a good game, but when they talk about killing people, they say, you put your ass in the line. You do that. And take these young people and tune them up. Take them out there and light them up. And all of a sudden they're living and they're going crazy. And then all of a sudden we say, okay, war's over, guys. Come home. And then next thing you know, they're standing in line at a Walmart and they go berserk. You have alcoholism and drug abuse, broken families, suicide rate, PTSD, people through the roof, people who've never even been to combat. You want that? Fine, you go ahead. You go there. Get Newland. Get her ass over there with all her other buddies. Get Bill Crystal and all these people. You go there. I'm right behind you. Go ahead. See the battalion over there? See those Spetsnaz, those Russian special forces? Yeah, go after them. Go ahead, Janet. I'm right behind you. Yeah. The guy with the eye. Yeah. Go ahead. Show me what you got. You wanted this. You goaded them. You provoked them. You were on the border. You go, come on, Putin. Come on. Okay. He's taking you up on it, but don't look at me. You go there. You and Macron, you go there. Trudeau, get your sorry ass over there too. Go ahead. Come on, there's plenty of room. Here's an M4, here's an AK, here's some whatever. Go. Let me know how you do. But we're out of it. We're done. We're over here. I'm here back in Cleveland. We're in here and you're in Lakeland, and we're out of this. We're done. We're done with this war business. I don't want to go to any more memorials and ask people, why'd you Mommy, why did Daddy die? Well, you see, that's a good question. You see, NATO, well, that's not it. We're the only people to actually have an actual Stepan Bandera acolyte from a certain fascistic group of people that brought you the Azov Battalion in the right sector. And Canada is actually clapping for this thing whose name, if iterated, if said or explained, might trigger some kind of weird AI algorithm bot. So I can't say it. Isn't that great? But you know what I'm talking about. You know, the dude. Yeah. Chaplin-esque. Only you can't write this. Look, I know what has to be done. I know what I'm looking for, and you know too. And I thank you for that. Sparky, I thank you, my brother. Barry McCockiner, thank you. Mike Rockburns, thank you. The lovely and talented and enigmatic Edie Crowley, thank you. The artist. And Fred Brown and his band of renown, thank you. And don't forget, dear friends, remember, this is the end of the month. I'm telling you, now's the time. Now's the time for you to go to preparewithlionel.com. Get that 25% off a 3-month emergency food kit right now. Last day of the month. Hurry, hurry. Do this. Now's the time to act. Same thing goes for our dear friend at mypillow.com. Promo code Lionel. All right? Good. Now listen, dear friends. Never, ever, ever lose your capacity to hope and dream. Do not let these bastards get you down. Do not let them confuse you or dissuade you from reality. We love you immensely. We love you madly. Thank you for honoring me with your presence. Thank you for honoring me with the ability to speak with you. Thank you for spending an hour of your time. Look at this. Get Kamala to explain why Daddy died. Sparky, you be bad. You be bad indeed. You're a good man, Sparky. You're a good man. So, my friends, again, you honor me. You honor me with this. Thank you. Sparky, got big plans tonight? Saturday night? And ain't got nobody? Huh? Bull Trader, we love you, Leonard. We love you, Bull Trader. We love you. This is something so unique because this is our group, and what we do is different than anybody else. I don't sit here and I'm not lecturing to you. I want you to get away, put it this way. I want you to have a feeling, a perspective, hope when it's warranted, reality when it's warranted as well. But I want you to really think to yourself: does this? How am I? How am I to handle this? Because it's daunting. Well, we're going to get through this, my friends. Oh, it's going to get really good. All right, dear friends, have a glorious, wonderful day. Please be very, very careful. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for allowing me into your home and your heart and your mind and your ears. See you then. Until tomorrow, I always end with these words, this final word for our final show of September of the year 2023. We'll never be able to do this again. We'll just start the first day of October tomorrow. But remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da.